mastering the MLA formatting. This is a comprehensive guide that I did for students. So I wanted just to give you an idea of what it was. Some of you have never heard of this. When I went to study my master's, I did hear about it, but I didn't do it much in college. And I just wanted to create something for you that you're going to be able to, in a quick way, kind of know what is MLA. Don't be nervous. I know I was really nervous because I was making a lot of mistakes when I was in my master's, like I mentioned to you. And I did have to have some consequences and get some assistance, but I just wanted to share my experience so that you don't have the same experience because it could happen. So what we're going to just do is review what the MLA formatting is, the basics, what are in-text citations in MLA. So that's when you're writing in the body of your writing, a works building a works cited page. So the works cited page is at the end of all your writing, and it gives you where you got the information from. Even though some of the information could be from your opinions, but you definitely want to differentiate the two voices. Also citing artwork and MLA style. Um, this is just going to be artwork here, but there are other, for example, YouTube, there's a way to cite speeches, performances, all sorts of things. So I'm going to show you at the end where to find this information. So don't worry. Also, I'm going to be discussing with you just the common mistakes that everybody does so that you don't make them, the ones that I did. Also, how to get help. So I want you to make sure that you know that I'm not going to be able to teach you the MLA in the class, so we're not going to have assignments to go over it. But I hope that this video helps you, and you do have the library that is going to have appointments to help you as well and to review your papers before you submit them to me. Also wanted just for you to see where to find the resources for how to cite, for example, a video versus citing a quote that you heard out loud somewhere. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to show you today. So let's go ahead and start off. Like, why is this important, right? Because you want to make sure you're attributing to the person that wrote it. So maybe one day you're going to be quoted for something amazing that you said, but would you like someone to steal that quote? I know in social media there is a lady that calls golden retriever partner, romantic partner, and the other one was the cat or something like that. So black cat energy, right? Golden retriever and black cat. So you don't want someone to steal your phrases and your studies, and things that you've said or people have said. Primary research is where that happens typically. In secondary research, you're quoting somebody. So we're going to be doing mostly secondary research in this class, thank goodness. So I'm not going to send you out to the field to do primary research. But I'm going to teach you about MLA in-text citations, the works cited page, and citing artwork. So this is really what we're going to be going in some of the other slides visually. So I'll just go ahead and get started with that. So let's go ahead and go back a little bit. Okay, so the in-text citations provide credit to original authors within your paper. So it's within your paper. The works cited page, like I mentioned, is at the end and citing the work. So there's 3 areas that I'm going to be looking at basically in your papers. Beware, right? Citing books. Okay, so you include the author's full name, title of the book, publisher, and publication year. For example, Smith, comma, John, History and Human Stories, Academic Press, 2021. What's the publisher? Can you point it out? Yes, it's Academic Press. You guys are amazing. Okay, well, citing articles. So this is different because you have to provide not only the author's name, title of the article, journal name, volume, um, issue as well. So the journal name and the volume and issue is not present in the book. But you also are including the same year and the page range. When you're citing books, you will use a page, not a page range, unless the information is in two different pages. Um, when it's in text, for example, let's go ahead and skip to the in-text as we're going through this. In-text citations should include the author's last name and page number if applicable. Okay, so sometimes they don't have pages in books, right? So um, there's a way of noting that. For example, if there is a page, Understanding Human History is an art of telling stories, Smith, Smith 45, and this is in parentheses. So you want to make sure that this is in the body of the work, that if you're getting the information from somewhere else, basically. And then citing the artwork, you're going to use the artist's last name, first name, and title of the work, the date, and location. For example, starting with the last name first. Da Vinci, Leonardo, Mona Lisa is the work, was 1503 to 1506, that it was created in the Louvre Museum in Paris, is where it's housed. Okay, so you want to put where it's housed. Okay, so for example, if you're citing architecture, this can be tricky, right? Because there's, like the Colosseum, of course, but then there's things in museums too. Um, Also, you want to alphabetize your entries in the works cited page on the last page. Just a quick hint. So you want to do the in-text citations. This is mostly where the students forget in the body of the writing that they're doing. So if you're writing something about the humanities, about the art, about the artist, about their life, you didn't memorize this information, right? You got it from somewhere else. So you want to be able to quote your sources on that. So to quote a source, include the last name and page number in parentheses, and we went over that, Smith 45, for example. But you also want to paraphrase the text, because a lot of the students, and I did this too, when paraphrasing, you rephrase the original idea in your own words while crediting the author. You don't always want to put in parentheses, everything, and like copy paste and then put other people's ideas mostly and not have it be your own. That's why you're creating something amazing. And an example could be Smith emphasizes that the understanding history involves connecting various narratives. 45. So that's the page. So we can do it different ways, like how you saw Smith 45 on the left when you're quoting sources, or when you're paraphrasing, you could say Smith says, or Smith, um, you know, not only emphasize, Smith could do a lot of things, right? You could, but you have to put the page in parentheses at the end. So either way, you'll also want to mention the author's last name in your in-text citation for proper attribution. Um, so if the author's name is included in the text, only the page number needs to be in parentheses, like I mentioned, right? Page number inclusion. So you always want to, put that. Sometimes the students forget to put the number in general, and it's hard to know at that point if it's correct. So it's just questioning. You don't want people to question the integrity of your writing or your work or your research. And so this is going to be you now becoming a scholar, a mini scholar. Um, for example, you would write Smith 45 to refer to a specific page in a book. Again, just mention the number Artwork, the Mona Lisa. So I love it. You want to put the MLA citing of the artwork underneath the artwork. So in this example, it's not. But you want to always do that because you don't want to confuse the images. Sometimes there's multiple images and it's confusing. Some of you, if you go to a museum and you take a picture of it, that's not counting for you doing the MLA citing. I'm so sorry. It's really specific, right? It says Vinci, Leonardo, comma, Mona Lisa, 1503 to 1506, Louvre Museum in Paris. It doesn't have all that extra stuff. Like, I don't need to see all that extra stuff in there. Please, right? So this is what I want you to learn to do. And then the in-text citation example is going to be the when you're just talking about it in the body of your work, and you're going to say Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. You're not going to put the page number in there. Okay, so you don't have to put it unless you're referencing it, but not the artwork itself, because the artwork is not a page number, right? Obviously, but just wanted to clarify because it could be confusing. We want to be really specific with it. It is very, specific. And so this is a great place to check the All Purdue page. Let me show you what that looks like. So this is what that looks like. You see on the left where MLA formatting and style guide. So you're going to see the general format of it. This is the one that I like because the formatting and style guide, kind of gives you like examples, also of in-text citations, examples, because you could have different things, right? You could have you want to put an in-text citation of like, you heard a video on YouTube and you don't know how to do that. So I don't want you to make it up, right? I know when I was there, I was like, what should I do? But I didn't make it up. You can't, right? And then look at MLA formatting quote in quotations and the list and everything's there for you to help you. And then also you can see here that you have a generator. Cool, it can do it for you. How amazing, right? When you're doing the works cited part, not the in-text citations. It's not going to do the in-text citation for you. But you definitely want to make sure that that's there. And there is so much support. So I want you to check in your portal in your syllabus and go to the library resources where you can get, and that they are going to be able to make additional time for you with this. So we have allocated almost 15 minutes, but we will not be going over this in depth in the class. We were going to be going over mainly the subject matter, and this is something that you hopefully can use in the future. Anybody that's listening to this video can use this to help them. Like I mentioned, you want to read the syllabus to see the policies. So each class is going to have their policies, for citing. We're going to be using MLA because this is for writing, typically of arts and humanities. So this is what I'm using. But other fields might use other like APA for like sciences, and that's not something that we're going to be doing in the class. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope this helps you, and I look forward to seeing you in class.